I'm really close with my best friend and her family. I mean, we have known each other since we were 2, and we lived on the same street even till this day. Since we have known each other for so long, and we have a lot of stories to share, but today I thought to share this one. When we were 8, she invited me to go camping at a local campground for the weekend, and I desperately wanted to leave my house, so I accepted. When we first got there at around 10 p.m., we thought it would be fun to scare some people by hiding in the bushes and jumping out. It was fun, and we got a few people, and some of them just chuckled and thought we were cute and kept walking. And then we jumped out at this one man, and his reaction startled 8-year-old me because when we jumped out, he didn't get scared. He just looked at us and smiled this really gross, pervy old man smile. Since it was a couple of years ago, and it was dark and I couldn't really see any distinct features other than he seemed to be a white male in his late 40s, around 6 foot, medium build, and had a strong smell of cigarettes and whiskey, my friend, we'll call her Faith, and I were both kind of weirded out because he didn't say anything for a couple of seconds until he said, "You know, you really shouldn't scare people like that. It's quite naughty." That scared me just because the whole time he was still smiling and staring at us all over. I was frozen, and Faith just grabbed my arm and said sorry to the man, and we ran off. The next day was normal, but when it was sunset, we wanted to run around the campsite and be kids. When we were running around, we heard someone yell, "Yoo-hoo," from up the hill, and so we look up and see no one, so I, without thinking back, yelled, "Yoo-hoo." And then we see someone walk towards us on the hill. You guessed it. It was the man from the night before. I wasn't scared this time. I was in such a good mood, so I let the guy come towards us, and he yells down to us, "Where are your parents?" Which Faith replies, "Oh, they're at the campsite." When he hears that, the grin comes back and he asks, "Well, it's getting dark, so why don't I walk you back?" We started to get creeped out and said, "Nah, it's okay, it's pretty far away." Which he responds with, "Oh well, I have 2 kids and they have bikes you can borrow up at my campsite. Why don't you come with me and I'll show you?" I was scared and all I wanted to do was go back, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings, being as naive as I was, so I accepted, and Faith and I started to walk up behind the man with him, as he looked back every few seconds with that grin to make sure we were still following. After about 30 seconds, we got to his campsite, and we looked around and saw no trace of kids, let alone bikes. This was a huge red flag. He says to wait outside of his trailer while he gets something. I look at Faith and tell her that we have to hide since there's no way we can run back to our parents fast enough, so we book it to the bushes. After about a minute, I see him swing open the trailer door and come outside with not bikes, but duct tape. This sight chilled me to the bone. Even though I was young, my mom and dad have told me about all the scary things that have happened to kids when they wander away. I would always watch murder shows with my dad and had seen an episode when someone was tied up with duct tape. I started to freak out when I see his face change from that disgusting grin to pure anger. He looks around, even right past me and Faith crouched down in a bush. After no luck, he charges back inside, and I grab Faith and we both run all the way back. We were too scared to tell our parents, so we just went straight to bed. We went home the next day and didn't talk about it until a couple of days ago when it popped in my head. Nothing came from this experience other than years of nightmares.